fulfillment, one of the top 5 things people ask you: what makes you fulfilled? What do you do for a living? What do you see your future as? All these questions that take soul searching. We ask people on an everyday basis, what fulfills you? We use that word like it's interchangeable for how are you? How's your day? What'd you do today? And finding that fulfillment is hard. Because I think we put it on a pedestal of it's the end all be all. That it's the cream of the crop. That if you found the thing that fulfills you, then you're living life. But when we find that certain thing, there's other things that come along with it. Stress, responsibilities, priorities, choices. That shoulda, coulda, woulda. So often we think that fulfillment is automatically a happy stream of life. That once we hit fulfillment, nothing can go wrong. That we can just deal with the things that we have and just be okay. But no one says how to get there. No one says all the hard steps you need to do and you need to walk through and you need to experience to get that fulfillment. Some people say fulfillment is in the journey, while others say it's the destination. It's to each their own. And I think so often we get caught up in the thought process of, this is so hard, this is so daunting, I don't know what I'm doing. But you forget that you don't need to. That sometimes there are aspects of life that are for the journey and that are appreciating it. I just think of my plant back at home, and I don't think you guys have seen it, but it's as tall as this ceiling. It's 6 foot. At least it's almost probably 7 foot, touching my ceiling almost. And I remember back in high school when I got it, it was just this little baby sprout. It was about yay big. And now so many years later, I'm just holy cow. Every single thing that I thought was gonna go wrong did go wrong, but then I figured it out. And sometimes it lost some leaves, sometimes I was scared it got root rot. But that's in the process of learning and growing. And I find so much fulfillment. I find a lot of joy in my plants. And I think when you can really find that source of your personal fulfillment, not necessarily professional, academic, athletic, family-wise, personally-wise, once you can find those things that you enjoy that only you can do, I think that's what gives you your purpose. And I think purpose and fulfillment are 2 different things, because the purpose is that intrinsic feeling of, I can do this even when it's hard, and I see the end goal that's not an end goal, but rather it's a part of the destination. But then on the flip side, I think fulfillment is, I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking off my head. I don't know if I know what this means, but that's just what I'm thinking instantaneously. That I think fulfillment is when you finally reach something and that you are satisfied with it and that you find joy in the destination or in the destiny, wherever you end up. And I think the purpose is what drives you potentially to your fulfillment. I guess I unlocked that big difference, because I think we as humans think we have to find our purpose in something big and something huge and something so grandiose, because we can be the biggest, best thing that we could ever dream of. But then when we say that thing or express to another person what it is, then they poo-poo it. And then you're oh, maybe that's not my purpose. Maybe that's not my true fulfillment. But honey, you are the one that's in charge of your life. You are the one who's driving the car, and no one else should drive that car. And I think so often we let our purpose get kind of intertwined with other people. That we are like, oh, I want to do this for someone else. I want to do this and this and this and that and that and that. And that is my purpose. But I think sometimes when you think of a purpose, I think you have to think of what you want in your life. And regardless of how old you are, your purpose is your purpose only. And if that's with someone else and you get to share that experience with another human being, I think that's a blessing within itself. And at the same time, I think if you're meant to experience certain things in your life without other people, without a certain significant other, without a friendship, I think that's also something so beautiful, that you can solo survive and thrive and live. Because certain points in your life are made to be with other people, and to be with a significant other, and to be with friends and family, and to feel every single thing that you were meant to feel, and to heal that inner person that was hurting. And I think that's the purpose of life, is to live every stage of hurt, to love, to joy, to anger, to sorrow, to then eventually feeling a little bit of fulfillment of, look how far I've come. I've made it. And that's your fulfillment at that time and point. But then you realize a new opportunity comes around, new people you meet, different friends that come into your circle. People are there for you, and you are there for different people. And I think that's part of your purpose, that you are there for people. Like, there's no other way to put it. I feel like I've had such amazing, blessing people in my life that have truly gotten me to where I'm meant to be today in the middle of January. And I think when you can take a step back and realize that not everyone is going to be with you forever, that's the sad part. But I think when you can realize and have joy and have love for them, that's when you can finally have peace within yourself. Because I think so often we internalize our confusion, our anger, our want to work things out. But I think sometimes they're just not meant to be at times, whether that's a significant other or whether that's a friendship. I think seasons in our lives are there for a reason. And when you can accept them, and when you can be there for yourself and for that other person, and without it draining you, then amazing. And that when you can give yourself and balance yourself and stay so well-centered and giving yourself in so many directions, and I think that is something beautiful that you have. And at the same time, I think when you can realize that you're empty and you feel like you have nothing to give, then I think you sometimes have to just be open and honest and be transparent. So I want to leave you with this. The purpose of living doesn't have to mean that you're aiming for a goal, that you're aiming to be X, Y, and Z to have that perfect fulfillment. What I think the purpose of life is to experience it, to share it with others, and to be able to realize that you are just living for the first time too. Food for thought.